Get the Channel 9 feeling.
So, let's get on with the show.
Good evening, I'm Bruce Mansfield.
And hi, I think everyone knows I'm Phillip.
Well, not many people may know.
Oh, after 40 years, I think they should know. After all, I was a child of television.
Oh, well, you've never grown up.
What about that opening? It was like Madame Tussauds. Talk about the big budget.
I talk about a big bow tie. Have you got anything bigger in your
No,
wardrobe?
I'm okay. I'm larger than life, you know
Last time I
that.
saw one of those was on a plat.
Don't you agree they must be spending a fortune on this?
Oh, they are. The opening, for example, cost thousands.
Do you know I still have my first pay packet from 1958?
Show me.
When I earned £12 for a week here in the booth at Channel 9.
Net pay $11.36.
Keep that to yourself, will you?
Now, this is where we're going to... Well, this is the studio where it all started. And do you know, just to be an audience member in the early days of In Melbourne Tonight, you would be recognised on the street the following day. It almost became an identity in yourself.
Yes, you would. You'd become an overnight star, wouldn't you?
That's right. And this is where it all started with a very young Graham Kennedy on In Melbourne Tonight.
What do you do with that? I think we should rehearse this. Where does that go? It's funny. Here is the news. I think they're funny, aren't they? I think they're armpit refills.
Any note you can hold, I can hold longer.
I can hold any note longer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I
Two gold fillings.
can. Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
That was Bill and Evie.
Yeah, good to see them again. Remember the Sons of the Pioneers? They had a big hit with a thing called Cool Water.
Keep a moving, Dan.
Don't you listen to him, Dan.
But here's Joff, Bill
Yeah.
McCormick.
Yeah, Graham.
Yep.
Jack Little, and a scene from the Arabian Nights.
Dan, can't you see that big green tree where the water's running free? And it's where little me and you. For water. Clear. Water. Water. Please, water.
Lovely to see Jack Little there in Cool Water. Didn't you share a dressing room with Jack?
Yes, I did for years. He was in AA, you know, and I always felt so mean having a fridge full of Fosters, but he was never tempted, I'm happy to tell you.
Oh, that's good.
Of course, Jack came out, I think, for the Pajama Game originally, for Josie
That's
Williamson's.
right. And another great American who came out and made radio his own was Bob Dyer.
Was he the last of the Tennessee Hillbillies
Yes,
originally?
he was, and he did the Tivoli circuit here in Australia.
I think that's where he met Dolly. I think she was a soubrette on the Tivoli, wasn't she?
She was, and on early IMT, Bob Dyer stepped away from the radio microphone one night and performed this. And this will be followed by Tommy Hanlon Jr. and his memories.
A 1 and a 2 and a Tootly Ensemble Cantabile. Let her flicker. He's gone from us forever, our darling blue-haired boy. Our cockeyed darling, we will see no more. See no more.
Now, do you recognise the four blokes behind Bob?
Would they be the Horridagi Quartet, Bruce?
Yes, you're right. Now, this is Tommy Hanlon long before the days of It Could Be You.
And who's the girl, do you think, Bruce?
Could that be his daughter?
His daughter April, or is it likely to be Denise Drysdale?
Oh, why?
Well, look at the knees.
Well, look at her castanets. Getting back to In Melbourne Tonight, I think the sketch comedy that we did here at Channel 9 was always talked about the following day.
Yes, I suppose it was a carry-on from the days of the Tivoli and the Bijou, wasn't it?
Well, it was. Vaudeville played a big part in some of the early performers' lives on television.
In fact, Fred Parsons, who wrote for Mo, wrote many of Graham's sketches.
That's true, too. And one of the oldest vaudeville gags was well, let the sketch talk about itself.
I bought a pie for everybody.
Oh, marvelous! I hope there's a pie. I hope there's a pie for me.
You can't do that to him.
You keep quiet.
Come on, a fake
He'll
laugh.
have to make it for Choice
A
Strike.
fake
then.
laugh. Oh.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Pretend the audience likes that. That might. I'm terribly sorry there is cream from the front row right back to the back. Well, that was a pretty messy one. Everyone got a pie. Of course, I can't get a pie because I'm the compere and I have to get dressed.
Want a bit?
Rosie, no. Oh, hello there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a cow coming on very quickly, please. If it doesn't slip in the pie. Well... Yes. Wait.
Warren, Latona and Sparks.
They were
Joe Latona.
A top international group that came out and stayed in Melbourne after their appearance.
Talk about contortionists. Isn't that something?
Amazing how you can put your body in so many different angles, isn't it?
You don't see that on TV anymore. Is it only me or is it freezing in here
It's a
tonight?
bit nippy in here tonight.
Can I ask you something very personal? No one's ever asked you before. Do you wear a singlet under your shirt?
No. Let's go into more groups that entertained us. Why do you
Is
ask
that a vest, is it?
Yes,
What is
yes,
that?
a bulletproof vest.
You know why we're really here, don't you? I think this is just a ruse. I think I'm here for This Is Your Life. I'm just waiting for Mike Munro. I think so.
No, no.
How do you know?
Forget about it.
Well, you might have the laugh on the other cheek later.
You'll see in the next hour. But speaking of groups that entertained, here are a group called the Escorts, and see if you remember some of the people in this group. Now, starting from the left.
Is that a young Athol guy?
Yes, you're right.
I don't know the guys in the middle, do you?
That's Keith Potker on the other end.
Yes.
Now, this would have been pre-Seekers, wouldn't it?
Yeah, about 1960, probably, on the Hi-Fi Club with Bert Newton.
And in the background, Aldine Splat.
Liberty Valance walked around.
This is a very young Greg Anderson, who's big news in Las Vegas at the moment.
Yes, he hops on his horse and cracks his whip to this very day, Bruce.
That's right, and sometimes on stage.
Straight and fast, he was mighty good.
Just having a look at some of my early appearances.
Oh, yes. Wouldn't be much to look at, would there? Be a very short film.
Thank you. On In Melbourne Tonight, which was seen Monday to Thursday, we wrapped up the week on a Friday with Noel Ferrier's in Melbourne tonight.
Yes.
And, yeah, well, two of the stars, are you going to contribute? Or just
Yes,
sit
I
there?
will if you say something convincing or worthwhile.
All right, well, who was on it, Phil?
Well, I'm thinking of Mary Hardy
Yes.
and Fred Parslow, for example, the actor.
Yep.
In fact, we have a clip now, Vintage Mary and Vintage Fred.
You wait, little girl, on an empty stage for fate to turn the light on. Your life, little girl, is an empty page that men will want to write on.
To write on.
You are 60, going on 70. Baby, it's time to think. Better beware, be canny and careful. Baby,
Lovely to see Mary Hardy, Phil. I worked with Mary on 3XY in the morning show.
Yeah, she had the gift of the gab, didn't she,
She
Bruce?
certainly did.
Yeah, lovely, Mary Hardy.
What's that card for?
Oh, excuse me, but I'm a preparation man, as you well know.
Yes, more a preparation H man from your chemist.
Well, thank you. We've got some oddities coming up now.
I'll say we have.
Early television with some of the great comics, for
Exactly.
example.
We're leading off with another international star who visited us here at Channel 9, Alan Sherman.
Hello, Mudder.
Hello, Mudder.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Father. Here I am at Camp Granada. Camp is very entertaining. And they say we'll have some fun if it stops raining. I went hiking.
He was really a one-hit wonder, wasn't he,
Yes,
Alan Sherman?
he didn't do much after this, did he?
Driving.
What's he doing now?
You remember
Time, I would imagine.
Leonard Skinner
Hello to Alan.
Bad material.
Hello, Alan, if you're watching.
last night after dinner.
Clippity-clopping over hill and plain.
One of the great local acts and comics here in Melbourne was Jackie Clancy.
Very underrated. He was originally a prisoner of war, of course.
Yes.
That's where he learned his craft.
That's right.
Entertaining the troops.
But it didn't affect him, as you can see.
Corona, a guitar for a cowboy way out in Arizona, a dress of calico for a pretty Navajo. Get along, you, get along. You train, ha, ha. You train.
Yes.
Long before Red Faces and New Faces, one night a week we called IMT Kennedy's Auditions.
Whereabouts do you work?
Well, actually, I'm dispatch clerk at the moment, but I'd give anything to be on TV. I'd love to do, anything I'd like sing or anything I'd be talented for, really.
Yes. All right, Mel. Well, we'll...
Well, I do want...
Mel, you're creeping up on me there, darling.
Oh.
Back here a little. Now, just on the little spot. See the yellow spot? That's the girl. Mel, you're going to sing...
Moon River.
Moon River.
Yes.
Mel, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much.
Moon River, wider than a mile.
15 minutes of fame for Merle Joy Murphy.
Now, this is Merle's first song. She comes back and does another,
Surely.
at her insistence.
An encore.
Mel said she could have given more, but
I'd
she
love
was...
to sing another number. West of the Wall, your favourite one? One desire to sing West of the Wall.
Yes.
Especially for you, Rome.
Look, the very next time...
Few bars. A few bars.
West of the wall, and we will fall. West of the wall, where all our dreams come true. And if while you hold me tight, you will forget the darkness of the night.
Here's an international act called the Sing Lee Dancers, Phil.
They're probably brought out here by somebody like Sammy Lee, would you imagine, for Zeros?
And they'd probably look at that woman at the back. Can she go? They'd probably do the Embers. What did you want to say?
I was going to say all the big imports who came to Australia, like Buddy Lester and Jerry Lester and Dennis Spicer and Arthur Wall and Peggy Hyoma
Yeah, right.
and Hannah Brooks, for example.
What about it?
Well, it's leading into Leo DeLion.
Who's he?
An impressionist from Las Vegas.
Oh, and a very good one too, Phil.
Very clever, Bruce.
Boing, 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 boing. I like that sound. Just imagine if you took that sound boing, and substituted for the key word of a song title, you might come up with some interesting results. For instance, if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked up boing. How deep is the ocean? How high is it? Boing. Hey there, you with the stars in your boing. Smoke gets in your boing. I've grown accustomed to your boing.
Razzmatazz. I love a tune that's got plenty of jazz. Nothing too smart, nothing too sweet. Something catchy that'll tickle my feet.
Well, small props and wardrobe played a very important part in early television, Phil.
They certainly did, Bruce. Look at this. Graham Kennedy's crown, for example.
The costume that Graham wore in Henry VIII. This one worn last by Elma Shetty. You remember her?
Yes, and I wonder who wore that red gown last.
A security guard.
Oh, really? I believe it. And over here at makeup, some photos from the past.
Yes. Few memories here. Look at that.
Gee, your pants were tight.
I was most of the time too.
Yeah, with a quid.
And no, just in the pants department.
Yes.
Thank you. Look at you,
Very early Graham Kennedy there. Yeah.
Well, as we said before, props played an important part of early television, and Graham Kennedy could get hold of a small prop and make a world of difference on the night.
Even with a pair of hands.
Get your filthy hands off me!
This is a funny one, this one.
Well, there you are, Mr. Dentist. I told you it was a deep cavity.
What were known as small props were also used by a lot of groups in the years. They've finished their act, and to close it off, they just do this for some unknown reason. This man looks like a member of Parliament.
I think it's Clifford Guest, the ventriloquist.
Oh, careful. Come back!
I can't believe you'd be caught on camera stuffing your face.
Oh, all right.
Halfway through a special.
All right. Just don't make a big thing of it.
Well, I never eat till after the performance.
Well, that's you.
Like Frank Sinatra, would he eat between songs?
Well,
Never.
that doesn't help him much. Listen, let's go into your career and the quiz show.
Early Phillip.
Have Grundy ever contacted you to do anything lately? Like...
Well, no, they haven't, but how could you surpass excellence? This was the mid-60s.
Excellence?
We'll be playing for you viewers at home on Everybody's Talking. And here's the man who keeps everybody talking, our host and moderator, Phillip Brady.
There we are. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Everybody's Talking. We're playing this game for you at home. Maybe this afternoon it's your chance.
Oh, yes, everybody's talking.
Yes, and nobody's watching.
Well, that might be so, but what about the milestones in your career?
Well, I had an affinity, and I don't want to blow my bags up on this occasion, but I had a great affinity with children. I could control them with just a look. Have a look at this.
All be quiet. Now, all back on the lawn. Now. All on the lawn. Right? Now. I want you all get on the lawn. All be quiet. Everybody be quiet. I want you all in front of me here, because I want you to all do something on front of me. All in front of me. No fighting.
Kids just love me. I had a way with them, you know.
You know, TV Week is 40 years old, and here's a cover of myself back in 1961.
Yeah?
And I was very good at selling magazines, even the Women's Weekly back then.
There's a Butte story about your roadshow and the fact that you're taking IMT on tour.
Oh,
And
yes. Now, I'm glad you brought that up.
One of the very nicest photos of you there with a goat, I think. Or something like that.
That's a calf, Phillip. That's a calf.
I've never been on the land, Graham. I wouldn't know.
Well, you'll find that's a calf. Notice its legs, the way the knees go in and the feet come out. You've seen that anywhere before, Phillip?
What about the calves, Graham?
No, no, no.
Well, on magazines and publications, look what I found under the lino in the kitchen. Absolutely disgraceful.
How embarrassing. They were my beefcake days. It might be my hair, but it's not my body, Bruce.
No, it's Evie Hayes. Know that from the old makeup days.
Well, what about yourself doing ads for, say, Whitmont?
Yes, Whitmont pants commercials.
Yes.
When I went in trouserless on one occasion. Have a look.
Here he is, the man who takes nothing in his strides, Bruce Mansfield.
Well, after last Tuesday's show, I was a little embarrassed for Graham. Apparently, he couldn't see that these great Whitmont trousers I'm wearing. Well, I'm going to try and convince him that I had no trousers on. Remember the story of the Emperor's new clothes?
Bruce, now, what is that story? Would you tell us that story?
Well, Graham, it's quite intense, actually. Mr. Whitmont told me that the people who have no dress sense would not be able...
No, I mean the story about the Emperor and his clothes, that famous story that you said, you know, everyone knows the story about the Emperor. Would you tell that story?
Well, yes, I'd be only too glad to, Graham. At this particular point in time, the Emperor, I don't know, it must have been some Asian country, went to his tailor's one day.
That's right.
And said,
it was an Asian country because they had gherkins there.
He said, would you mind making me up a new pair of pants and a coat?
And?
They didn't have any cloth.
Ah.
So he ended up riding down the main street completely nude.
Like Lady Godiva?
Similar.
Put everything she had on a horse.
Exactly. But the only trouble was he had no hair to cover his body.
I wasn't ready for that counterattack.
And consequently, he...
rode down the street with no hair, no clothes.
No clothes.
And there it was, exposed in the main street, as it were.
Precisely.
Oh, people get used to little things like that.
You and your polka dot undies.
Didn't we make a galah of ourselves? We still are.
Hi, folks.
What was that for?
Well, you know, making a galah of yourself.
Oh, sure.
I'm getting paid for this.
Do you? Oh, are you?
Hey, I was paid up front before we came here.
You're joking?
Oh, yes, I have an arrangement with management. What about yourself?
They're paying me after the event.
Oh, well, they know what to expect from me.
I feel like going home now. That's
well,
it.
you can if you care to.
But I'd like to see for a moment one of the international stars, Crazy Guggenheim, who came out from the Jackie Gleason shows.
It's terrific. It's terrific to be here at the 20s Club, and it's terrific to be here in Melbourne.
Hello, Mr. Donnelly. Timing's everything, isn't it?
He's another crazy. But listen, he finished his act by singing the most magnificent songs with a basso profundo.
No, he
propensity.
actually had an Irish tenor voice under the name of Frank Fontaine, didn't he?
He did too. Here he is.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the leaves are falling. 'Tis you must go and I must bide.
Have you just tuned in?
Oh, that's marvellous. Oh, that's...
Well, that must be good. Who are you watching?
Jim Whaley.
Look, this is like the early Sullivans.
It is.
When I was young, my father used to have an Admiral 18-inch.
Didn't know he was in the Navy.
Yeah, but what did you sit in front of? An old Astor, for example?
Yeah, we had a little mini, or my father had a little Mickey, I think they were called.
Oh,
just a
yes.
7-inch.
Okay, well, that's a difference, isn't it?
Yes. But, now, of course, haven't you got on your wall a full-screen television?
Yes, projected TV. It's wonderful, a 50-inch TV.
Yeah.
It's so realistic, Bruce, like a home cinema.
To think it all started in a setting like this, Phil, modelled on your home.
Yes, and watching in days gone by, 30 years ago, say, the Vienna Boys Choir.
Yeah, have a look at this memory. This is Ron Blaskett in an overseas event. And this is a most unusual act that they do now, the exchanging of the dummies talking.
Oh, yes? I know the feeling.
Talking test? What's the talking test? Well, I'll give it to you now, you see. Now, you have to try and say everything that I say, right? Right, here we go. The cat sat on the lap.
The cat sat on the net.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain.
With a clear, the crackle, click, the crackle, pickle, cracker, how it's pickle, how the crackle, pickle, with endless string, this is less snacker, this and this and cardle, the snarl, lead, Manchester, golden noodles, going like a seal, though with 3 goes from grounding, go to the better than the goal of the grounding on the beach. Okay, follow that, son.
The cat sat on the net.
Channel 9 ballet, graceful, beautiful, feminine, lovely shaved legs, and the girls look good too, but a couple of mistakes here. Look out, Phil!
Oh, Bruce, I can't believe it.
George and Jan.
To TCN 9, Brian Henderson. It's late 50s for Bandstand.
This is the basic Madison step from George and Jan.
This is a marvellous sketch from very early Channel 9. It features the comedy team, Betty Liss in the front, Rosie Sturgis coming into the theatre.
Yeah, and watch out for Buster Finesse.
Come along, Norman, in here, dear. Norman? Oh, dear, now where has he got to?
Where are you, baby? I can't see you.
Oh, madam, don't worry. I'll go and get him for you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Why are you, Rube? Oh, I lost you in the dark. That's the best out. Got to be careful. It's dark in here, isn't it? Oh, we've been here for years, haven't we? What time did they start, Rube?
Norman.
What?
Norman. Over here, you silly old fossil. Here.
IMT attracted many and very different people, including Rick Bunch from the Flat Earth Society, and a rather lovely funny bit from IMT where Bert tends to get a little bit annoyed toward the end.
Yes, he's a real eccentric, isn't he?
Bert?
No, the other man.
How many people that you know in this world believe the world is flat?
Thousands and thousands of university students are prevented from accepting it.
By whom?
By the authorities.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go
By
at you.
the authorities. By the person that's getting paid to put over...
Why is it that perhaps great scientists...
There's no such a being as a great scientist, because there's a lot of great scientists in the universe that's got the guts to come out and face
Well,
it.
frankly, Mr. Farrow, if there weren't great scientists, we wouldn't be living here now, would we?
You would be living here, boy, with more sense than you'll ever have at the present moment.
Our darling Myrtle. That's better, John. Here are 3 hats. Throw out the hat of the man you really love. Fair enough. Full stop. Beauty. Good, right. I got the knife. Right.
There goes me dicer. In.
Good
And
shot,
there
Professor.
goes mine.
Yeah, I bet
there
he
goes
throws out my hat. I bet it's mine.
If it isn't mine, I'll kick you right in the leg, I tell you. I'll break your blooming neck.
Okay, fellas, here she comes.
I told you.
In those days, Phil, the audience used to bring in a lot of gifts for Graham Kennedy.
Yes, is this a bottle of wine, perhaps, Bruce?
Well, let's unravel it.
What is it? A bottle of wine, a lovely bottle of wine. I'll open it. Feels like a bottle of wine. Oh, is it going to be one of those? Blimey, Betty. When do you get to it?
Me for you, dear, only cheaper to dear, from this moment on.
Oh, dear. It is pencil time, Mel Tormé.
Yes, Mel Tormé, known as, I think, the Boston Bog.
No, the Velvet Fog.
Oh, well, close enough. Ambrose?
What?
Remember this? Remember the Zither and Shirley Abercare, the Zither Girl.
The first television I ever saw was behind a fish shop, in a fish shop window, with the water going down and Shirley Abercare plucking every night at 6:30 near the flake.
I believe you. And there's a story here. My mother picked up this Zither at the Maytime Fair, and can you believe out of it fell some jewels?
Yes.
A diamond ring, a necklace, and some pearls. And, you know, I took them to the police station and no one ever claimed them.
So you still have them?
I still wear them.
So does Shirley Abercare.
Below the moonlight, the shine is beginning. Close by the window, young Eileen is spinning. Bent toward the fire, her blind grandmother sitting is crooning and mooning and drowsily knitting.
Yes, lovely to hear the Zither again. I've mastered this, you know, as you can tell.
What about a song?
The Harry Lime theme,
Yes.
would you care?
No, not really. Max Bygraves visited Australia with his son, and they were pretty good too on IMT.
Max in his mid-70s today.
Back in the old routine, change to live my life in fields of clover. Back in the old routine, face the front, give me an old strong hand, a double trucking down the avenue. Pop the magic dragon.
Hit after hit, a lot written by John Denver, Peter, Paul and Mary.
And they still tour, Peter, Paul and Mary, to this very day, don't they?
Sing it with us, pop the magic dragon. Live by the sea and frolic in the autumn mist in a land called Halloween.
Oh, Daddy Cool with Ross Wilson there.
Brings back memories, doesn't it?
I was a 3AK Wrinkly. We used to play this on a Saturday and Sunday night.
Ah, yes, now you're a Channel 9 wrinkly.
These four girls were known as the Four Debs, and they were staff. They were actually on staff at Channel 9, where we had a full-time orchestra, ballet, singers, songwriter and arranger. Robin Alvarez slinking out of a background shot in her Ellie Lucas elegance.
All my good wishes go with you tonight. I've been in love like you.
I've had my way.
There's a very proud Gordon Boyd singing from Crawford Productions Showcase.
My system was to know many girls, 'twould keep me safe from one. I find it can't be done.
This man is Desmond Lane. Not necessarily now, but he was very big in the penny whistle department.
Yes, would he have been related to Don Lane?
Somewhere along the line. I think all the lanes converge into one. Music was one thing on television in the early days, but sometimes, Phil, it was the commercials that stole the show.
Yes, and of course here's Graham at his very best, Bruce.
Terrible. Now, this is an example. Listen to this. Imagine, these were loaned to us by an elephant at the zoo. I think they're his spare set. What a lot of rubbish. Get those out of the thing. I don't need props and funny scripts from O'Brien Publicity. No, not O'Brien. USP Benson. I can do it without that. The message is simple. Hang on. You've got the other half of that, have you? I've forgotten it now. Here we are, yes. New McLean's Spearmint gives you a smile every bit as bright and white as McLean's Regular. Irresistibly white and... Oh, good, I wish I hadn't torn him up. Is there anything up at Keroit that anyone knows about why the military should be there? Oh, did you see that documentary? Of course you didn't, because you were... I was watching from Bendigo last night. They had a thing about Australia's defence. Have we had that in 2 parts? Yep. Oh, it's crook, isn't it? We haven't got anything. We haven't. We have 1 tank and half a ship. Oh, no, it's frightening. No, it's terrible. I don't think they'd have any trouble getting into Collins Street at all.
A few surprises for Graham on that show.
Yes, remember the Darrod's wheel? Look at those prizes.
Look at the prizes.
A Scott Bonner, whatever.
Dandy power equipment, Toyomoto pearls. 6
pairs of panics that fit where you sit.
But do you remember the Darrod's barrel, where every night at 9:30 we waited for a customer to be pulled out? Well, their entry.
Remember Honey, and of course there was Panda and Jenny Ham and Carol Burke.
Yeah.
The Aboriginal girl, Happy Cook.
I didn't know Happy.
Oh, yes, not Happy Hammond, Happy Cook. So many went there, Bruce.
And there were so many in the booth in those days. Among them, you and me and Pete Smith.
I'm a disc jockey. Every good reason to be. And I'll say it, though maybe I oughtn't. I'm really most vitally important. All the teenagers, though simply outrageous, believe every word that I say. I get the new records as soon as they're in, then pick out the ones that create the most din, and the kids go and buy everything that I spin. I'm the big DJ, the big DJ.
I can't believe the hour's up. I've had so much fun.
So have I. I feel as though I've been here all day.
And we thank Bob Phillips of the Modern Media Museum, Mornington, for all these old props. And I don't mean you, buddy.
Our rings are cleaned by Wayne and Lucy at McMaster's Jewellery.
My pyjamas are dry cleaned by Bill Mukta of Choice Dry Cleaners Q.
Ooh La La Chick Chick for the rotisseries.
My socks and jocks from Bob Stewart's Menswear Q.
Thanks to Ashlong Lingerie.
My hair is coiffured by Mr. Amir Emilio of St Kilda.
Our thanks to Lounge Lizard Upholstery.
And my soup is made from marrow jelly bones from Branson's Meats at Kew.
Marrow jelly beans. You mean jellied marrow
Well,
bones.
whatever. I mean, I get
Also,
excited.
thanks to Raymond Interiors, Bollocks Jeans and Claven Antiques. It's time for us to go. Thank you. This has been television the way we were.
I drive a Daewoo from Tony White Dandenong.
Get off.
It's greater than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think.
The thing they say I'm noted for is 'cause I'm like the girl next door. I really hope that it's not true. The girl next door is 92.
Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think.
I got married to a girl named Kate, then I met Edith, and she was great. I find out, I know it's true, you can't have your cake and eat it.
It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, it's later than you think.
My latest job is droving sheep. I squeeze 4 dozen in a Jeep. How did I learn to pack those lambs? I used to be a conductor on the tram.
Enjoy yourself, it's later than you